Hi. If you're feeling anything like me, you're probably feeling very overwhelmed with grief, anger, frustration, pain, even hopelessness and powerlessness. You're not alone in these feelings. I've been struggling with this time not only to witness the continuing of injustice that is happening among so many people, but the biggest thing that I'm struggling about is how to speak up about it, take a stand, and choose the role I want to make, or I guess the role I want to take in this change. I think a lot of us want to support, want to make a difference, and want to get involved, but are not sure how. And that fear, that discomfort, that uneasiness that a lot of us are feeling can hold us back from really stepping up and speaking from our heart, speaking from compassion, and taking an active role in change. And so today I want to talk to you about my experience and hopefully in this empower you to speak up when you're scared, because I'll be honest, I'm terrified. I'm terrified of what's going to happen to people in this country. I'm terrified of what's going to happen in the world. I'm terrified of what's happening to people that I know and love. And even filming this, I'm terrified of what's going to happen to me. That being said, this moment of discomfort for me, speaking to you, hopefully can inspire you to do a lot of great good and take your place in this world to make an impact. And so I'm willing to be vulnerable. I'm willing to put myself out there to hopefully connect with you and join this amazing cause that's happening, and hopefully invite you on to this fight. So my name is Melissa Taylor. I'm the founder of Strive With Me, a place where we make personal development and social change accessible for busy people. And so I hope you'll join me in this talk about how to speak up when you're scared. First things first, let's acknowledge the discomfort. I think when it comes to change, a lot of us feel uneasy. We feel and we know this is wrong. We know that this is not okay. We know there is a level of injustice. We know that something needs to be done, but we're not quite sure how. And that's okay. Not everyone is going to run out there and be a leader of a movement. Not everyone is immediately in the power to flip a switch and make an amazing amount of change, right? That being said, we can all start. And it all starts with us, with acknowledging what are we afraid of and try to understand that. Are you afraid of being wrong? Are you afraid of saying the wrong things and being misunderstood? I know I am. Are you afraid of the retaliation that might happen to people who don't agree? I think that stems from another cultural and societal problems that people feel like we can't exist if we disagree on a topic. I think that's problematic because that holds us back from really connecting and bonding over the shared experience of being a human being. That holds us back from learning different perspective. That holds us back from really having the opportunity to connect with another person, understand and empathize with someone else. And that also prevents us from sharpening our ideas and really understanding where we stand and why we stand for it. It's very easy to join in and comply, and conform to the popular opinion, right? What's important is really understanding what's happening, um, and making that decision yourself. Um, it's important to go beyond your immediate experience and look onto others of what they're experiencing and why it affects them so much. So that goes to number two of educating yourself. In a world where information is so easily accessible, we're really effing lazy to do the research. We're not quick to fact check, unfortunately. We're quick to accept what the popular opinion is. We're quick to accept what other people are telling us, whether that's people we love, people we admire, people we care about. It's important to take the time to form your own opinion. It's important to take the time to really learn and understand what you're speaking about, and understand why it is so important for you to speak up and use who you are and what you represent as a way to contribute to the solution and not the problem. Uh, it's also important to admit that you don't know everything. Like I built Strive as a publication and a platform to invite other voices and share other narratives and stories and perspective, because I don't know everything about personal development. I don't know everything about social change and impact. And that's okay. It's okay to not know everything at first, but it's not okay to not learn. With everything that's going on, it's important to really educate and understand not only what's happening now, but the history of what's going on. Try to empathize the trauma, the impact of what decades, even centuries of oppression and unfair treatment of different people based on circumstances such as race, socioeconomic status, beliefs, gender, orientation, identity, disability, all of this. That's diversity covers such a wide spectrum of qualities you can see, such as race, gender, maybe identity and orientation, but also things you can't see, such as disability, whether that's physical, mental, trauma, social economic status, and all these things. So really take the time to educate yourself and really ask yourself these questions, not only for yourself, but on the cause. Ask yourself the difficult questions that you may have been ignorant to, not because you are a bad person or because you were came from privilege, and maybe you did come from privilege, and that's okay. It's what you choose to do with that privilege that really matters, right? Are you going to stand in allyship and really understand what it means to be an ally and what it means to champion a cause, and the impact of using your voice and platform to help amplify the voice of others? We'll get into that a little bit later on, but really educate yourself on what's happening, why it's a problem, who it impacts. Even if it doesn't impact you, know that it impacts so many people that may not have the opportunity to shut off and not acknowledge it. It impacts so many people's livelihood that they can't just close an app, turn off the news, turn off the TV, and live in ignorant bliss. Because of that, it's important for you to get involved. Next, when you're looking to connect with other people, seek to understand and empathize. We all have such vastly different experiences and such different voices, and upbringing and history And I'm right now learning something about intergenerational trauma. Like, that's something that I've heard in passing, but I don't know, right? Even as a child of Vietnamese refugees that had to escape from a war, I didn't really acknowledge that growing up, and understand how that impacts my personal experience, and understand why was it that hearing about Syrian refugees and hearing about other people had to make me take a step and was like, whoa, wait a minute. That was my family. That could have been me if I was born a few years earlier, if my parents met earlier, or if they didn't meet at all, I wouldn't have been alive if they weren't able to escape a war-torn country, and have the privilege of being an American citizen and having an more American passport. If you guys travel, you know the weight and the power of having an American passport is. So take this time to really seek to understand and empathize with people all around you, and people from different parts of the world. Understand why it matters so much and why it's important to get involved. It's not possible for us to always experience it firsthand, but it is possible for us to experience a level of understanding and empathy from talking to people, from connecting with them, from understanding their story, their history, and their experience as a self. And allow yourself that space to be vulnerable. Allow yourself the opportunity to have an open mind, to understand from someone that you believe could be completely different from who you are, what you look like, what you've experienced, what you grew up in. But really, we're all so similar in the sense that we all have a shared human experiences. We all experience pain. We all experience love, loss, euphoria, joy, bliss. But not everyone experiences liberty the same. Not everyone experiences freedom the same. Not everyone experiences the pursuit of happiness the same. These are things that are fundamental in the American way of life, or at least it's supposed to be. And yet, so many people are focusing on the pursuit of happiness, when there are so many others that are still struggling with the life part. They're struggling with the right to exist, the right to be, the right to live a life as who they are. They aren't even have the privilege to focus on the liberty just yet. And yet so many people are fighting for their right for happiness, when so many others are struggling to just live life. So I hope you take a moment to realize that just because you're not struggling with this and you're not experiencing it doesn't mean it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that it doesn't affect so many of our friends and family, brothers and sisters, community members and leaders. Fourth is acknowledge your privilege. I understand that as an Asian American born here in this country, I have a certain level of privilege from other Asians and Asian American Pacific Islander. I understand that as a young person with a chance to go to college and finish that degree, I come from a certain level a place of privilege. I also understand that there are issues that may not affect me, my family, and my loved ones directly or indirectly. But that doesn't mean I should continue to live in my ignorance and allow my privilege to act as a barrier, and use it as more of a shield instead of a way to help amplify and support other people. We can live in our castles and high walls and look beyond the war that is brewing outside of it. But that's all we'll be. It's just a person in a high tower, disconnected from the world and unable to grow, unable to experience life, unable to really contribute and make an impact. So I really encourage you to take a moment to really understand what privileges you have. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think a lot of us are triggered by that word, and it holds us back from really understanding and connecting with other people. Recognize that we all have different experiences. I don't know what it's like to be a Black person. I've never experienced that firsthand. I also don't know what it's like to be a mother. I don't know what it's like to be a white person or man, woman, whatever it is. But I also recognize that I have certain privileges that they may not. And just because I don't experience the pain and agony of losing a child doesn't mean I can't connect with them and that we don't have other shared experiences. And it also doesn't mean I can't stand by them and protect other people from being hurt, whether that's children, women, people of different identities and backgrounds and orientation. And this is not just isolating and pointing out that one group is a problem versus another. It's more so recognizing that we all have so many similarities, and we also have differences, and it's a combination of both that can bring us together or divide us if you so let it. So I really encourage you to take the time to understand it from a place of open-mindedness and compassion and understanding, but also don't weaponize privilege from as a shield or as a weapon. So just really be careful, and I hope you really take the time to understand and really use your words in an impeccable manner, in a compassionate and understanding manner. The next is strategize. Now that you've taken the time to really educate yourself, to really learn and connect with other people that may or may not have similar experiences as you, you get to really strategize and make conscious decisions. It's about making these active, conscious decisions of what you are going to do with your time, with your effort, with your energy, with your privilege, with your platform and experiences. Take this time to really think about what you're going to do and respond, not react. There's a very big difference. I think it's really important that a lot of us, with all of these emotions, we're so quick to react, whether it's through a keyboard, whether that's in person, whether that's on a phone call, yelling and screaming. That's not how change can be made, but really taking the time to strategize and mobilize and really think about how you as a person contribute to the solution and not accidentally furthering the problem. Number 6 is to take action. Silence is only complying and conforming to what is going on. And with everything that's going on in the world, we can't be silent anymore. We just can't. It just contributes to the problem, it contributes to oppression, it contributes to the cycle of violence and danger and anger. So you can contribute in a passionate way. It's important to also take a look at what causes we really care about. Not everyone is going to rally and protest and run for office for every single cause. Really take a look at what causes you care about and really go all in. At the same time, take a look at other causes and understand what the issue is and still choose a stand. And there are so many ways we can make an impact. There's so many ways we can contribute to change and engage. Make sure you educate yourself and take that stand. 7, we mentioned this before, is to use your platform to amplify the voices of others. There are so many people whose voices are not heard, so many stories and experiences go unacknowledged. if you have a platform, and many of us do now with the access of social media, use that platform to amplify, recognize, and appreciate the work, the experience, and acknowledge the trauma that so many people are experiencing and so many people are suffering from. This is an opportunity to help really bridge the gap and take that empathy and that opportunity that you were able to speak to others and really share that and foster that shared experience and contribute to what you understand and what you empathize from another's experience. It's okay at first if it's okay at first if you're not sure. It's okay at first if you don't know something, but it's not okay to not learn about it. I really encourage you to take this time to really learn and learn how you're feeling, learn how others are feeling, learn about these issues, build that connection, right? Connect with another person, really understand, even if they have a different perspective, understand why they have that perspective. What of their experience led them to these beliefs? What of their upbringing, their privilege, their position in life brought them here? And speak both sides with kindness and compassion and respect and understanding. We have so much of shared human experiences that a lot of these issues can divide us from. But I hope that you take the time to really emphasize on how you are more similar and how you can learn from each other's experiences to really grow as people. And honestly, it all starts with a conversation. So I hope you take this time to also be kind to yourself, be gentle, be kind to others, and I hope you keep striving to become the best you can be and contribute to this beautiful world that we live in. Thank you so much for this time, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.